Kami, we're back here on a Tuesday, baby. You know what it is.
What's good?
How we doing today?
Doing good. In the nice little
In the flesh.
the little what shirt did you give me today?
Maybe a little Tachos Tacos.
Tell me about it.
Tachos Tacos is about an hour and a half away from the Tijuana border. Went down there on a little rugby trip with about 4 other guys. Me, 3 Kiwis, an Irishman, and then another. He's an Englishman, but he's American. Went down there 5 days after rugby season. Tore it up a little bit. Had a good time. Tachos was 2 doors down from our place.
There you go. So you know the late nights it was like
Late nights.
all day.
4 or 5 times a day, son. Like, you don't get a shirt going there only late nights for 5 days.
Chop wood, carry water.
We'd roll in there, grab a couple cervezas. They were doing fresh like fish ceviche, but I was big on the tortas. Yep. Being from San Diego, I already know a little bit about Mexican food, but the fresh torta carne asada with some fresh cheese, fresh tomato. It's I would recommend taking your trip down to San Diego, going across the border, taking an hour and a half ride, checking Tachos Tacos out. Let's go. Great surf spot if you're into surf.
Here we go.
I know you're from Huntington Beach. I know you like a little
I am
surf.
not from Huntington Beach, sir.
Oh my.
Come on. This guy.
Hey, he be talking about it.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
But man, lots of stuff going on. It's a prime time of the year.
It's good stuff too.
There's really
it's enjoyable
good
stuff.
It's kind of like, I think when you look at the season of sports and kind of season as we roll into the summer time and all those things, we actually get a kind of a sweet spot for sports.
Yeah.
We kind of have some overlap with some different leagues. You got NBA going on, you got NHL going on, baseball's going on.
Dude,
So-
okay, this is just a riff off topic. I went to an Angels game on Friday.
Ooh, always a good time.
And it was a
Tough to be an Angels fan though.
I'm not really an Angels fan, honestly. I'm not really a Dodgers fan either.
Okay.
I'm not really a Giants fan either, but I've been to all 3 of them, and they're all fun in their own ways, and they're all good. Not the biggest baseball fan, but with the new pitch clock, it is more enjoyable.
Speeds the game up a little
And
bit.
there's nothing like just a hot dog and a beer being outside. It is enjoyable. We had our fantasy football punishment 999 challenge.
Okay.
So we watched a
Is
guy.
that a punishment? Do we consider that a punishment? That kind of sounds like a lovely Saturday afternoon to me.
For you and I, it's like, let's go. I get to eat and drink beer.
Yes.
For a guy that's, like 6'1", I don't know, he was 6'1" or 6'2", probably like 180. Anywhere from 175 to 195, I can't tell.
He was in the fucking,
because he was lean.
he was in the deep end by
So
the 6th one.
Dude, that's hard for somebody that's not as
By the 6th glizzy
dude.
with the bread and
Yeah.
probably if he's on track, right? If you're really
He was doing fantastic.
if you're pounding out a beer and a glizzy an inning, right, which is pretty fucking tough.
Oh yeah.
But if you get to that kind of quota and you're hitting that by the 6th one at a 6'1", 175 pounds,
Yeah. It's tough.
my man's is feeling a little bloated. He's feeling a little big.
I'll just say this. He just barely didn't finish.
Okay.
It was really, really close.
So what were the stakes then? Like if he finished it, the challenge was accepted. You guys were like, hell yeah, brother, good shit.
Yeah.
If he didn't finish, was there like an extended punishment off of that?
He didn't
Or just,
finish.
like,
Pretty much now,
He's got no grounds to stand on.
He's
with
a
the group.
double loss
Okay.
guy.
Yeah, okay.
He's 0-2.
He's in the negative.
Yeah. There was also another league there that were friends of friends.
Okay.
With one guy who was doing it for the 3rd year in a row. So that was
Better have been doing some prep by his 3rd year.
I mean, I guess he's lost like 35 pounds and he looks fantastic and everybody's like super proud of him. But I mean,
about
he was
15 pounds.
he wasn't even nervous.
No, I bet
He wasn't even nervous. He's like, and it was like the comparison of like Tom Brady versus like Shador going into the league. Like Shador's like, oh shit, I'm going to the league. Tom Brady's like, I've won
He's
Super
in the
Bowls.
bathroom, like wiping his face, like he's getting himself ready. Like, hey, like I've been in this moment before. I know what it takes. I know I'm gonna have to get out of the gate and get these in early. Is there?
I'm not even gonna lie. He finished by like the 7th inning. he crushed it.
Honestly, okay. Like I was kind of, as you brought this up, and this has been a thing that's been talked about for some time. It surfaces here and there, but like myself, I think I'm attacking like 4 hot dogs out the gate.
Oh yeah.
Like 4 hot dogs out the gate. Use 1 beer to wash those down, because then I can sit for a bit. And then I got like 2 innings maybe, and hopefully we bat the order in one of those innings. So like that inning's long.
Yeah.
Give me an extra time.
Well,
drink
and
a beer or 2 in between that. Like
it's so different now with the pitch count, with the pitch clock.
it does move a little faster. It does move.
It's like Before, a guy would walk around the mound, fix his jersey, go like this with his hat.
Throw it around.
Yeah. Now it's like, no, you got 15 seconds, pal. 20 seconds, whatever it is.
I think it's a 90-second pitch clock. So by the time that ball gets back, he does his little trot.
Yeah.
He's back on the mound in his windup.
No, I don't think it's fast. I don't think it's 90 seconds, dude. I think it's 20.
I might be wrong.
I don't know.
Fact check this over there.
Can you look that up? What's the pitch clock in the MLB?
Over under 45 seconds. I'm going over.
I'm going way under.
I like that. I like where your head's at.
20.
The pitch clock aims to speed the pace of play by eliminating downtime between pitchers. Players all 30 seconds.
30. Okay.
All right.
We'll meet in the middle.
Take it.
We'll meet in the middle.
Over 90 seconds. That's a long game.
That is a long game.
Speaking of some baseball, the MLB just released today that they are taking them off the ban list. Let's put it that way. Okay, the MLB
reinstating
is a great word to use. Reinstating 16 different guys that have since deceased.
Wow,
that is the new statute of limitation.
Yeah,
within the MLB of if you get banned and you're a really good player that potentially could have got to the Hall of Fame, but you did some shady shit in the league, kicked you out. You could still get reinstated and put into the availability for Hall of Fame if you die. So it's a little morbid, but like. Speaking of two guys that deserve this, obviously, and there was a lot of petitions early, like for a long time before Pete Rose ended up dying, but Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson both now have been reinstated and are up for a Hall of Fame if they get selected for that. So that's pretty cool to me.
That's pretty crazy by the MLB to be like, yeah, you got to die for us to let you back in.
I mean, so it was focused around Pete Rose. Pete Rose was a 17-time All-Star.
Okay, give me a little bit. You were kind of going into it.
Got you. Okay, so he was banned in 1989. Okay, but he got banned while he was a manager of the Cincinnati Reds because he was betting on some games.
So he was betting on games while he was the manager. Not while he was
when
playing.
He was playing, he had an illustrious career. Played a long time. Was one of the first guys to ever coin truly sliding head first.
Wow.
Okay, but he played a long time. Was a 17-time All-Star. He was one of the all-time hit leaders in the MLB. Really good player. Shoeless Joe Jackson. Obviously, the names back in the day for baseball players, I love them.
Yeah.
Like they would come up with some funny ass names for these dudes, and obviously Shoeless was out there playing with no shoes on, right?
Hey, good for him.
While he got banned was because there was this whole conspiracy where him and 7 other guys fixed the 1919 World Series for the Chicago White Sox. They actually called it the Black Sox era.
Wow.
It was one of the darkest times in the MLB history. It was during the first time they ever had a commissioner. So it's kind of like that guy's been banned since like baseball was institutionalized.
Yeah.
And now Pete Rose died and there's all this commotion and now all these guys are going to be reinstated and up for, I think the earliest time they can be enshrined is in the summer of 2028 if elected.
Wow.
So like it's a pretty big moment for obviously like the Rose family.
So
fought really hard and now they kind of have that opportunity to kind of get enshrined for the moment that they have.
Do you think that's like just a alley-oop slam dunk, like it's easy, it's going to be
I think only for Pete Rose because his family and so many people were kind of going to bat against MLB of like how long, like we get it, like we've said sorry for our transgressions, we've apologized. He's been out of the game for a long time. He's no longer a detriment to the game. He's not taking anything away from it.
Yeah. Let's
highlight him for the things that he did while he was a good player, right? Yeah. They gave a lot of push, so I think that kind of helped lead to him being like, as of 2028 in the summer, I could see Pete Rose getting his inductory email or however they do it in the MLB. So
well, that's interesting because you think about it, that was while he was a coach.
Yeah.
So you can separate coach Rose and player Rose,
right?
Like that's something that is a whole. Like I can totally understand if he was doing it
while he was playing.
That's
like
and
it's no. Like I think everyone knows the. Like we could get into that topic, right? Like if I was a player, I should never be able to bet to lose a game. But like, what would be wrong with me wanting to bet to like say I'm about to go score 4 touchdowns? So
I don't think there should be.
Upside should be there. Like I should be able to. Like, what's wrong backing myself?
If you bet on yourself to win, like everybody's trying to win at all times, right? Like that's what the standard is.
Correct.
So if you're like, I'm gonna bet Vegas that I'm like that.
Yes,
that I'm better than their stat line that they're giving me. Like, imagine they're like, hey, back in the day, Tom Brady's not gonna come back from 28-3. Mid-game, Tom Brady's like, hey, calls his agent.
Crazy shit. Like,
hey, at halftime, Tom Brady freaking calls his bookie and he's like, put $1 million on me.
Yes, like
that would be fire.
That would be insane. Like I think it would also. like obviously it's a wild take, right?
Yeah.
But I think you'd start seeing more late game heroics. I think you'd
Yes.
start seeing dudes like not taking themselves out of game because once they put some money on this, some
Yeah.
skin in the game, they already have skin in the game. Now they're putting real more skin in the game.
Do you think that would change? Do you think that would change Vegas gambling, like sports betting? Like, do you think if they allowed players to bet on themselves to win, but not bet on themselves to lose, like keep not betting on yourself to lose? Do you think
you would start to see, Vegas is a proven winner.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they're where they're at.
Yeah.
Because they know how to take money from people.
Yeah.
But I think that you would see them start to
I think they would tighten the
parameters in the house would start to want to lean more towards the loser rather than the winner.
right.
Because if I'm so put it in our own fan, like LeBron James can start betting that he's scoring 20 a game.
Yeah.
I'm a huge LeBron James fan. Times me times 100.
Right.
Now there's 100 LeBron James fans that are always betting on LeBron James to win because LeBron's on his fucking social media 3 hours before the game. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm putting 20 up tonight.
Yeah.
I better hammer that.
I
shit.
guarantee it.
Here, I booked it myself. Here's my screenshot. Right?
Yeah.
You see all these people now, like they get out of the game. Like Pat McAfee, great example. Bustin' the Boys, great example. Like they partner with FanDuel and now, hey, like pick Will Compton's parlay this weekend. Imagine if that dude like LeBron James goes, pick my parlay on my game against the Jazz tonight.
Yeah.
I'm putting 30 up. I
Right.
think that would definitely change the way bettors view the way they want to bet.
Yes.
So the house would have to somehow correct that.
I think there.
I don't know.
I think the only way the house could correct it, and this is exactly why it would never happen, is guys start doing things like that and saying, "I'm going to do this, and this."
Like, just
And
dropping.
then legality reasons, like if he's like, I'm going to do this, like could that be technically a legal binding contract because he said he was going to do it?
Correct.
Like
who
there's,
knows?
I don't know.
I think the lawyers would be coming out of the woodworks.
Yes, I'm going to
licking
get you.
their chops.
Yes.
Like,
But what I was going to say is, let's just say in a crazy world, this were to become a thing. I think the way that Vegas would handle it is instead of it being, like whatever, minus 200, it'd be minus like 100.
you
they're
wouldn't
going to
have
give
these
you less.
crazy odds where
They're going to give you less.
a guy bets
for it.
$100 and he wins $1 million, or bets $100
Yeah.
and wins $5. I think
Yeah.
you're starting to see like they're starting to be more sure bets, I guess. So
Yeah.
your odds are lower,
Lower odds, yeah.
but like your ability to win that got a little better because
Better,
you
yeah.
probably had like
Better
a little
information.
inside trader
Yeah.
Intract. Like if fucking LeBron James is really out here telling me he's dropping 20, dropping some fucking I'm offensive game plans. I'm getting
Yeah.
the ball a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Like I think that changes
Dude,
a lot. of
then,
things.
then just imagine like, a tight end where they put in a trick play and it's like, why is he betting 200,000 that he's going to score 30?
I was like, it starts coming into like there's a guy who's hired in the NFL to now be bet trackers
Oh gosh.
for guys that are playing that they're playing against, going
Yeah.
like, hey, Kittle just put out a bet out on a parlay saying he's getting like 5 receptions.
doubling
for
Kittle.
over 100, and he's got for some reason. He put on there he's gonna fucking throw a touchdown. Why would he do that? And why would he do that? We don't know why he would do that.
Hey, field room coaches are just like, if you see him on a double reverse, it's a pass. Safeties, get deep.
Listen, she's fool right here, biting down too hard. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy. You know the red laser.
Exactly.
The red
Red
laser
laser.
is fucking terrifying.
It's like, especially when they start circling you, you're like, is this going to be a compliment or just getting my ass ripped?
Come on, Kami. You already know. You've watched that tape 1,700 times. You know by the time it blips up and just the name comes up, you know whether that's a good play or not.
No, the worst one is the order of the plays,
Yes.
and you're like,
Yes.
in 5 plays, I'm going to get ripped, and you're just sweating.
We could go down the road, but it's when coach when you fuck up at the end of the play, but someone else fucked up at the beginning.
Yeah.
so he's motherfucking him.
And you're like, just
And you're like,
go to the
just
next
skip it,
one.
just
Skip.
it. And he keeps getting closer and closer. You're like, I might get off here. He might not see it.
I'm not going to lie. That's
It comes and gets his. Like,
it's a 50-50 there.
It is.
It's
It
a
is.
50-50.
it is.
And sometimes it's worse when they get you and they got somebody else because they're already pissed.
Correct. But
Good stuff.
Speaking of, leagues and teams and obviously everything that's been going on, let's talk a little bit about the Utah Mammoth hockey team.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. So I became a hockey fan. I played hockey a little bit in high school.
Okay.
Played just like a little rec league, whatever. Dabbled in it. I became a fan because my older cousin that I saw.
You were a goon. You
come
were
on
a goon.
now.
You were out there.
Come on now. I got in like
it
3
out.
fights, and I got in like 3 fights, and it was like a co-ed adult league. So I bought.
Comstock's a tone setter, okay? I don't care if we're out at the rec, ever playing professional, anywhere in between those two scales. Tone setter, right?
Let's go. Let's go.
Need it.
So He grew up in Arizona, so Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes.
Okay.
They're the team that moved to Utah.
Ah.
So that's where.
Dude, I was trying to put together if it was an expansion team, but then I realized it's like, hold on, I don't follow hockey all that
Yeah.
much, but follow it enough. And I was like, bro, I feel like I stopped hearing about
The Coyotes.
because
Yeah.
I always thought that their logo was sick.
Their logo is sick.
Good colors as
Yeah,
well.
great colors, fun arena.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona's a great place. They know how to party out there.
So I think it's pretty cool that they're now in Utah. I think that's unique.
Dude, I think it's a good market.
Yeah.
Think about the weather, right? Like we're playing ice hockey.
Right.
It gets snowy there. It's
I think
a colder atmosphere.
It definitely fits for a hockey town better than Arizona.
I could see that. I think that they have a fan base, right? Like if you look at the demographic of Utah, there's a big Mormon capacity there. There's a lot of Polynesian families there. I think there's a pretty good diverse amount of people that live there.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bigger market than what you would look at in Arizona from a physical contact sport.
Right.
Right, like they got basketball there. They obviously love their football, but they're big into rugby. They have an MLR franchise there.
Right.
I think coming in with another tactical sport that has some energy, that brings some hits, it's only going to help them continue to grow as a league.
And it's fast paced. Right. Just like you're saying, like that, it fits in with what they're good at.
So we obviously think about this, right? People behind the scenes, lots and lots of people behind the scenes of marketing and vision and building a board of, well, what are our colors? What's our logo? Like last year they competed as the Utah Hockey Club, which some teams do, smaller leagues and all that, before they even go out and kind of unleash a new
Washington football
logo,
team.
the Washington football team, before they decided what they really wanted to be. They've been jumping around like it's freaking kindergarten. They're closing their eyes like, that one looks good.
You know, like when you used to play like the floor's lava and you're jumping around.
They're just out here like, no, the fans didn't like that. I'm over here now. It's kind of like, So
you got to stand on something.
Exactly. So I do think I really want to ask you the question is, if you had all the choice in the world, you're the highest level seat on the board. These names get put across to your list, but you get to come up with your own. Okay. Are you sticking with Utah Mammoth, or are you going to go somewhere else?
Okay. Well, if I were the NHL,
or sorry, let me rephrase my question for you. Or are you not even going to Utah?
Well, so I think when I think about expansion teams or teams moving or this or that, I think the team that got it correct is Vegas Golden Knights.
Yep.
And I just like that whole environment. Vegas is becoming a sports city, so that would be my number one. But they've already done it.
Yeah.
So they already took the idea. Yep. Good for them. You know, that's why they're a great league.
It's called Vegas for a reason.
Yeah.
They know where the party's at.
Exactly. But if I were to do something, I was looking at the map, just a physical map of where the NHL teams are. And there's a ton of East Coast teams. There's some sprinkled West Coast teams. There's a few Midwest. But like in that northwestern area, like Montana.
Like heart of America.
Yeah,
up towards the lakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nebraska, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, like in that area.
I got you.
I want to see. They don't really have
Paul Bundy
much
area.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Lumberjacks out there.
Yeah.
Corn-fed motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's cold there, right? My cousin,
real cold there.
My cousin goes to a school in South Dakota. They have a hockey team, electric. I mean, he'll send me pictures, videos of them throwing beers everywhere when they're scoring. I love the energy. It's already a part of their culture. So if I were to do something, I think I'm going Billings, Montana, the state of Montana's, and this is just kind of in the middle of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
The state.
I mean, great national parks there.
Yeah.
Great, there's a lot of money flowing towards that middle of the
Yeah.
state. Could be a great little launch pad for a mid-market team.
Right. The state animal is a grizzly bear, so I think you go.
The University of Montana Grizzlies, baby.
Grizzlies, yeah. The Billings Bears.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool. Keep it whatever their state color is, like the state flag, whatever those colors are. I like when teams do that and they kind of stick on track with the state theme.
Yep.
But I'm just curious, like, could a team survive in a smaller sub-tertiary city like that? And could it expand the city, right? Like you see a ton of cities like Boise, like Fresno, where their city expands.
Hey. Fuck them.
Well, yeah, but
that's a donkey state. All right.
Yeah.
Keep them out of this room. All right. I spit on them
and then swipe it.
Thank you.
But
continue.
But the city itself is expanding and growing from the success of that college.
Absolutely.
So now think of an NHL team. I just don't know if there's enough there for it to survive and thrive.
Yeah, but I do hear you. I think that you can really approach it from you have the NHL as the media, as the kind of big bubble that people are into. You look at those states, you kind of look at a Montana, they're a rough, gritty, kind of the culture of that town, the culture of that state is very blue collar in its own sense. Right. There's a lot of hardworking people out there that live and earn wages every day to kind of be able to live. But I think you go and interject a team into that, there's not a lot of pro sports around there.
No.
Okay, you look at the colleges around that have football that draw a crowd. They do well for that.
Yep.
Right. Proven winners also bring in a crowd.
Exactly.
So yes, look, expansion teams have a tough time early on when they get into leagues. It's proven across every league. To win. But I think if you get in there with a grassroots, like, could you imagine? Like we were watching
think about this one, North Dakota, right? North Dakota State Bison. Imagine
they have a great college hockey team.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you would already be in a market that kind of has a taste for hockey at a decently high level. So you kind of get yourself into that market.
Bismarck, North Dakota, Bismarck Bears, or whatever, or Bismarck Bison.
Yep.
Whatever.
I think that there's a ton of options in there, but I think it's that grassroots approach.
Yeah.
But like, remember we watched probably the first round. We were talking about the first round of the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
And most of these teams are doing it now, especially teams that have a huge fan base or people that are really bought into it. They have watch parties when they have away games.
Right.
Could you imagine the watch party in Montana?
Oh man.
We throw a big screen up out there and they just got trucks backed up with hay bales and friggin' Miller lights and friggin' Busch lights and they're
it's gonna just
hammering
It's
beers.
gonna be kegs.
No, kegs of natural light.
Yes.
Literally just out there having a blast. Like your fan base, I want to go back and talk about the Utah Mammoth.
Yeah.
I already immediately go like, if their fan base isn't called the Herd, I don't want to be a part of it.
I think that's perfect.
We could literally get the freaking ice in the arena shaking and kind of the ground tremoring as the team's coming to enter. Like, think about a pack of mammoths coming out trying to save themselves from fucking saber-toothed tiger. Ooh. You thought those motherfuckers went out slightly? No. Hey, out here and got active,
and it was the Herd that was getting active.
And got active.
Yes.
It's like I think that there's a ton that goes into the name, there's a ton that goes into the colors, but I'm liking where they went with Utah Mammoth. Yeah. I think it's something that's going to be able to catch fire there.
I think so too.
I think you can do something with that logo that's super cool.
Yep.
Colors are going to be big. I hope that they stay on the same color wave that they had in Phoenix and kind of keep that color wave.
I think they're going. Forward. I think they're going like light blue. Ooh. I think it's like light blue, gray, and white or something. There's blue, gray, and white, something mixed in like that, like lighter colors on that blue shade.
So in the MLR, every year they do like a City Connect jersey. Yeah. Kind of like how the Color Rush did in the NFL. The City Connect really came from baseball. They started doing kind of crazy jerseys connected to each of their teams.
Oh yeah.
Well, in the MLR, they try to do the same thing. They have every year we probably have a military appreciation jersey and then a city jersey.
Yeah.
One year when I was in Houston, we had like all purple and black jerseys that had like a spaceman on the back. It's a Space City. But Utah really does a cool job with theirs. Yeah. They go out and kind of highlight all the different national parks and forest services and all those things that are kind of there in Utah.
Yeah.
And one year they did something, there's a giant like Salt Lake out there that is like light blue and beautiful. So they did their colors one year for that. So like I could see that tying into the community the right way. And again, like when you're a new team, you got to come in and make a splash. You want to see people around town wearing your colors, wearing your merch, right? Having a sick hat to put on to make sure that they can rep your city. So it's gonna be interesting to see kind of how they interject themselves into a new market and kind of grow. So.
Well, I think they picked a very good spot for the team, right? Because I think like Salt Lake is it's in that same region that I was talking about that needs to be filled in with pro teams.
Yeah.
But right, it has the population, it has the size, it has kind of the foundation already built. I think that's why there's not teams in those towns that we talked about, right? Because the population size isn't there. There's not another city or town that's right next to it. So like actually getting people there would be hard. So I think Salt Lake's like a perfect, I agree. It's like that perfect happy medium.
And obviously already having some other sports teams proven teams in there helps with that.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Utah Jazz being a good example there. They do a good job of their fan engagement and fan experience at a game, I think. And you're looking at that across professional sports everywhere. Like it's really gotten away from just the product on the court, on the ice, on the pitch. It's gotten into what is my experience from buying my ticket to going to the concession stands to sit in my ass and watching the product. So I think you're going to see the Utah team kind of lean into that, have a great experience, have a great atmosphere, so then fans come in there having a good time.
I think that's a good point. Like, just talking about fan experience, I took a sports marketing class, and that was kind of the main theme of the class.
That's the biggest thing about sports marketing nowadays is like true experience outside of product on the field.
You talk, how easy is it to get in the stadium? How easy is it to get out of the stadium? How easy is it to use the restroom, get a drink?
Are my concession stands long?
Yep.
Am I spending more time waiting in line for the pisser and getting a sandwich than I am with my butt in my seat watching the experience?
Exactly.
So if I am spending a lot, if it's a 60-minute game and 20 minutes of that entire 60 minutes I'm out of my seat, I better still be having a good experience, though.
Yeah.
It's not fun, but if you make it fun, right? If you make my experience up at concessions or pictures around the stadium or kind of landmarks, things that are coming into the age of marketing nowadays, right? Social media influencers, picture spot hubs.
Right.
Come over here and take a picture of this big-ass blow-up. This thing's dope.
Yeah.
My experience as a family or as a fan is a hell of a lot better, even if I missed 10 to 15 minutes of that action.
Right.
So I think you're seeing a lot of change in there. But
stuff.
I'm going to jump notes on you. We're going to talk a little bit about fighting. Because you know that we had a bare knuckle brawl this weekend with former Fresno State alumni Josh Hokit.
Come on.
I mean, my guy just again run through a motherfucker's face again. Like, he literally has been proven winner. He comes out and he gets. It's like watching him when I was blocking for him as an offensive lineman. He likes to run aggressively and he likes to do it often. And he likes to just fucking get out there and he will empty his tank in the first quarter, even though he's running on E for the next 3, and he's still, I'm fucking in there.
And sometimes he'll just all of a sudden jump over a guy.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Whoa, where'd that come from?
And then he runs the next guy over.
Yes.
And then sometimes you're at practice and it's tag tempo and he runs a guy over. Because just set the fucking tempo.
Why not? And I think when I'm watching him now and his fighting career, like, he comes out mellow, cyborgish, really fucking like, dude, I'm fucking dialed. I'm about to take this dude's fucking lunch money. And then the fucking ding, and he's on him. Like, his fight, under 2 minutes again. Okay, I think that's his third fight now where it's in the first round, non-negotiable, under 2 minutes. Comes out, gets a big dip on him, gets ground position, and then just literally, it's like that old Joe Rogan punch.
Yes.
Oh, boom, boom, like 100 fucking punches to the dome, dude.
Okay, so
I don't think I'm not built that way, but my guy is out here fucking eating.
So here's the thing. Josh Hokit's fought 5 fights. He's 5-0. His first fight went 3 rounds, okay? And I want to say...
That was his first professional career fight ever.
Yeah.
My guy was still trying to figure out, like, am I a wrestler or am I a boxer?
So then after that, he goes 4 straight first round finishes. Two of those are, let's see. 2 of those are ground strikes. One's a rear naked choke and one's an armbar. First round.
Nasty.
I mean,
But, like,
that's
also in his bag.
yeah.
So that's 3 different types of finishes there.
That's what I was just going to say.
In his bag.
He's so in control in the fights. I got to go watch one of his fights at Tachi Palace, and it was pretty cool to see. This guy was just clearly bigger than him. Like,
that dude was big.
Clearly bigger than him.
That dude was big.
And Josh Hokit manhandles him, ragdolls him.
He put the Big Uso in shock real fast.
So I'll just give you a story of Josh Hokit real quick. We were in college. He's a wrestler. He used to have to cut weight to get. He would go from whatever it was, 230 to 198 or whatever the weight class were in like a month and a half, 2 months.
No, but then like finish doing that and flop back right out.
And then flop back right back to 230.
Gain 30 pounds and then run through a motherfucker's face. Like,
so he's at that phase. He ends up, he's not happy. I'll just say this. He's not happy with the results of a match. And I remember we're all there and, oh, you're good, Josh, you're good. And he's like, you guys, I have to go to a dark place. You won't see me for 2 weeks, but just know when I come back, nobody will fuck with me. And this dude came back and whooped some ass.
But like, you're a wrestler, right?
Yes.
I grew up in a wrestling family. My brother was an all-state wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrestlers are a bit psycho.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you kind of have to have a mentality of, hey, I just took a tough loss or I didn't like how I performed in that. Like, you're not going to go run to your fucking trainer and be like, yo, what did you do wrong?
Yeah.
You're not going to go look at your teammate. You don't have a fucking teammate.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it really is that true me versus me battle.
The thing,
That fool looked in that mirror and was like, I didn't like what I saw.
Dude,
I need to go in a dark place. I need to figure that shit out.
And
That's mean.
The best part is like in a team sport, there's so many like what ifs. What if this didn't
There's
happen?
so many other
What if-
tangibles that have to
right?
kind of fucking fall in your place to work.
I remember when I was a wrestler, and I know a lot of people that did, singular sports where it's just you. There were so many moments where I was like, in the back of my head, I knew what it was. I knew why I lost. It was either I didn't train hard enough to have the right technique, or I bitched out. And
There's not a lot like you either empty the fucking tank or something technically happened wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of room for error at the highest level of wrestling anyway.
And then I'll just say this. Then sometimes the guy's just actually better than you.
No,
It's just,
but that's also the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
and then the best part is,
You want to be that guy that's better than that other guy as well.
yes. And the cool part is that might have been today, and in 2 years, you're kicking the shit out of him.
Absolutely. You
Right?
see it every time.
Because you put in the work.
You'll see a roadmap of that. You're going to see that guy again, especially if you're, however it works. But
Okay, so also, did you have one? Do you have more you want to talk about with Hokit?
I do got a question.
Okay, yeah, what's
for
up?
you. Speaking of violence, okay, obviously, Josh Hokit.
Oh, by the way, this is from a few episodes ago. I'm moving my gorilla versus men to 30 men versus one gorilla.
See, but you don't get to make that decision. These gorillas don't get to talk. Like they.
No, I know, but I was just thinking about it. They're so powerful. They're so powerful and explosive. They're gonna get tired relatively fast. It's about survival for us and tiring this fucker out.
Wait, so you're saying there's 30 dudes versus one
30
gorilla.
dudes versus one gorilla. I was just yesterday.
But a curated list.
Yeah,
and some training.
like solid dudes, like not
Like you get to handpick your 29 plus one.
yeah. It's guys that are all it's guys that you want to pick. I was just at this bullfighting last night in Layton, and it's Portuguese bullfights, right?
Hey, hold on. A little bullfighting in Layton.
Yeah.
Now, on a Monday night in Fresno, Clovis area,
Yeah.
there's not a more valley statement that I've heard. Yeah, just casualties out at a bull riding out. In Layton,
It was a Portuguese bullfight, and they have bloodless bullfights. So instead of stabbing the bull with a
killing the
sword,
bull at the end.
they do it with like a Velcro thing, and they stick them in, and the horse rides around. And then they have a thing called the suicide line, which is where guys, it's like 8 guys, 10 guys walk out in a line, and the bull's on the other side of the ring, and it runs full speed at him. And first guy catches him by the horns, and then everybody comes around and stops this like 2,500-pound bull. And then one guy.
Okay, hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
I'm not done.
The bull catcher. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
But the bull catcher.
Yeah.
The dude, the one out of the other 9 guys.
Yeah.
That goes, hey,
I got
I'm
this.
gonna catch him today. He's got brass balls.
Yes.
Bigger than anyone
Yes.
else on maybe there's a couple other guys that want to catch bulls too.
Yeah.
But that dude walks home and has the biggest balls on the fucking
Yes.
in Layton. Let's put it that
Absolutely.
way. Right?
Absolutely. So after they catch him, then they have the bull stood up, which is a crazy looking thing.
Like on its hind legs.
no, not
That
stood
dude's
up.
a unit. If
No,
okay,
it's
it's like a standstill.
Stand still.
So like, what happens at Run It Straight when they hit each other and they
Yeah,
both
and
just
they're
they
both
both
just
are
there.
knocked out, but they're leaned against each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's whatever. It's the 8 of them or the 9 of them right there. And then one guy goes around the back and grabs his tail. And then everybody breaks off, and it's just the one guy grabbing his tail.
Okay, I changed my statement. The little bastard that goes around and grabs that bull's tail after it was stopped on a standstill, he's got the biggest brass balls.
They both have some big balls.
They all have
They don't
giant
even-
balls, but
yeah.
I'm not grabbing that dude's tail.
No.
Because now what happens? Now what happens?
and then-
you stop in a standstill, all
then-
9 guys let go, and you're just holding on to this fucking bull's tail.
And
I
then-
bet his nuts are still fucking pulled with the rope, like he's still pissed.
Then he's like turning around trying to hit you, and you like hold on to him, and he like kind of drags you around, and then it's like until you like kind of control him a little bit. Not really control him.
Until you aggravate the bull enough that he gives up.
But-
I'm assuming is where they go with
But
that.
it's also that bull has also been ran around the ring with the horse guy hitting him with the spear things that aren't spears.
The more you tell me, the more I just feel bad for the bull. Okay.
No, dude, they don't kill the bull.
I know they don't, but
Okay, so this is
okay,
backstory.
Comstock, here we go. Every day for the next month, I'm gonna invite 10 guys over. I'm gonna invite you over into the backyard, and once you open that gate, Me plus 9 other dudes, you heard it. Me plus 9 other dudes are going to tie you up, and I'm going to pin a tail to you and hold you down. We're going to do that for 30 days straight.
That sounds like when I was 5 years old in the wrestling room, my dad was just like, fuck it, you better fucking win.
And system, and I mean,
Okay, wait.
It's all about how you finish, Jake. Okay, it's not about how you start.
Okay, wait. I want
System of his down was on too. You know, like that's just
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So let me just. It's not mean to the Bulls. When Spain and Portugal,
yes.
when they
Back in the motherland.
when they had the big war, Portugal used bulls to break the barricade.
Sure they did.
So then now they honor the bulls and they don't kill them. It's like an honorary
like
thing.
that. I
Where
like that.
Spain still does. They
kill 'em.
they kill the bull. So that's the difference.
Okay.
It was very very cool.
Okay. So I want to get to my question. I know we kind of got off tangent.
Sorry
there.
about that.
For what? My guy going out to watch Bulls in Layton on a Monday might be the best thing I've heard all week.
Oh, yeah.
It's only fucking Tuesday. It's going up from here.
Yes.
All right, standard's been set.
Absolutely.
So my question is obviously coming off of Josh Hokit having an absolute dominant performance again. Okay, I've been watching a lot of videos. A lot of videos always come up. We talk about Waffle House. Okay, you've seen how the people at Waffle House get down.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Okay, you're out at a late night spot, and you're at a Waffle House, so you already know that it could get cracking.
Yeah.
At any moment, but it's a
yeah.
pretty civil night. You've already been served your food. You're smashing like it literally just got there. It's hot. It's piping. You're ready to eat.
Yes.
Across,
And I'm starving.
and it's a late night. You've had a couple beers. Maybe you're with your girl. Maybe you're with a couple boys. We're literally getting down on some chicken and waffles, and it's about let's say it's 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, across the restaurant, you've already been served your food. Across the restaurant, it starts popping off. They start throwing fucking haymakers. We start getting popped off. People are getting fucking shit's popping.
Okay.
Do you leave? Do you immediately get up, grab your girl, grab your people, get the hell out of there? Do you get up and start videotaping? Or you just sit down and enjoy the show and eat your meal?
That's such a good question. This is such a loaded question.
Four.
Too. This
Four.
is so
No, sorry.
bad.
I want to add one more. 4. Do you go get in that thing? Do you just go
Oh my
add? Do you just you say, hey, I'm just a guy walking down the street. I saw people getting into it. I'm a wrestler. I like getting into it,
Dude.
I want to go Josh Hokit someone real quick. Like have a moment. So 4 options. I need to know.
I'm drunk.
You're not inebriated. You have had a couple drinks though.
Okay. So I'm like 5,
You got
7.
a little confidence. You got a little confidence about you.
I'm like 5 or 7. Like
Fucking hungry though.
yeah.
And your chicken and waffles just came right down in front of you.
Okay. I'm probably taking a few bites.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see what's up, and I'm gonna be like, let's see what this fight is looking like. Is it just a fight, or is it gonna escalate? If you know what I mean.
Which you've seen. We've seen some Waffle House videos. Most recently, I saw one today where
Yes.
I think half the restaurant was broke. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they were throwing fucking plates at each other.
Oh, yeah.
At one point, some girl, there's a whole bunch of broken plates all over the fucking ground. She ended up barefoot, and then she was.
Oh no,
getting-
she stepped on some.
She was getting bows dropped on her. But like she's barefoot, so she's stepping on glass, and she's not even worried about getting bows dropped. Like she's literally trying to get away from the glass in her feet, and like jumped in a booth, and then somebody jumped on her. It was,
Yeah.
But I'm saying like,
So
if you're
here's-
eating, like, what's the approximate like depth of how close that has to get before it really fucks you up? Like, if that's happening 2 booths away from you, are you like you still good?
I think if I'm
Are you happening 6 booths
Just-
away? It's
just
kind of not. It's non-existent. Like this is just Waffle House at 12 o'clock on a Saturday.
real honest, if I'm with my girl, we're out of here.
Okay, I like that.
We're out.
Big safety guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
If I'm with the boys and my girl, we're out. I don't care. I'm grabbing my boy who wants to go jump in, and we're out.
Well, I think it'd be you. You're literally grabbing yourself. You're like, hey, it's gonna be okay, big dog. You gotta get out of here. It's like
You're
the
like, what's wrong with that guy? Is he okay? Is he having a
Green Goblin mask is over there speaking to you. But
No, I think if I'm with the boys, we're gonna go check it out and see what's going on. I'm not a big fan of people like jumping into fights though.
no. See, I had
Not a big fan of
to throw a wild one in there
Yeah.
for the viewers because, like, 1 out of 10, one of these dudes is a psycho fuck that's like sees action and wants action.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
it is what it is.
Now, new part to the story, different
Add to the
avenue.
scenario.
Add to the scenario. It's one of my boys. Now it's just go.
If one of your boys, like myself, I'm one of your boys.
Yeah.
If I'm already in an altercation with somebody that's at a level of like I'm pissed that you see this going to Bose, you have better already be there before Bose come. Let's put it that way.
Well, dude, if
the roles were reversed,
well, so this is the crazy thing.
I'd be like in the video where the dude puts his fucking helmet on, and just dives off the pool table to fucking headbutt somebody. Like I'm gonna come set the tone.
Well, this was my hypothetical. I'm getting my chicken and waffles, and next thing you know, I hear something in the back. And I'm like, Aaron, really? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? So then now I have to run and freaking Bobby Boucher somebody. Like, are you kidding me?
Set the tone. Yeah, set the tone. But all right, I just need to know. I need to know. You know, because I know what I would do.
Yeah,
I'm for sure. If it's booths away from me, and I'm like with the boys, no, not my partner, not my lady who's I'm in charge of making sure she's okay. I'm probably just smashing my chicken and waffles and enjoying the show for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm probably just what's going on?
I might throw in a World Star in there somewhere. I don't know. Like people go viral for throwing that in all the time. I might want to take my chance at that. So
while you're eating, you're the guy that
I'm have the video of like, man, this chicken waffle's crazy. Look at the show though, and then it's just chaos on the other. Like could be funny, but I want to move on to.
No, I'll say this before you move on. I do like to watch fights on TikTok and on Instagram or like I love watching the fight videos. Everybody does too.
What's one of the ones that pops up on X all the time?
Fight Club
or Grind Face.
Yeah,
like there's one that's Grind Face. Like obviously World Star was it for a long time, but now, that's a slippery slope. Kind of like you and your Instagram feed. We got to stay away from talking about that. Dude. But like, you watch one fight video and then like you remember you like on social you swipe and it just goes to like not your next feed but the next relevant video. You're like 2 swipes away from watching a dude get his fucking head blown off. Like it gets really really volatile really fast. And I'm like,
you're watching the war in Ukraine really quick.
Tuesday afternoon I don't need to be watching a drone fly over a Russian soldier and fucking take his life but again like
that's what happens.
And all of a sudden I'm like, well fuck, now I gotta get off this and I need to do something different. But let's get off the heavy topic.
Okay, so UFC, Islam Makhachev vacated the title or his title.
So you told me about that. I need a little background. Okay, so he has a title. He's vacating it because he's probably done fighting.
No, he's going up. He's either going up to welterweight or middleweight. I don't know which one it is.
So he's vacating a title because he's moving weight class.
He's moving up. Yeah.
Okay. Now. That doesn't just go to somebody, right?
No.
Gotcha.
Well, there'll be an interim champion, I believe. I believe there will be an interim champion, which I don't know how that works fully. But the awesome part is, so we've seen guys like Charles Oliveira. We've seen guys like Justin Gaethje, Holloway, Poirier.
Hold on, Max Holloway, fucking the Hawaiian banger.
Dude, all those guys are so fun to watch. Even Dan Hooker. I mean, now we got Paddy Pimblett that's in the conversation. Right?
Paddy Pimblett, when he goes on, he like gets real skinny for a fight.
Yes.
And then he like wins his fight and then he goes and fucks off for a month. I love that that's the true 80-20 balance.
Yeah.
Like he really he grinds and he's ready to fight, but when he's ready to have a good time and enjoy his food and enjoy his life and reap the benefits of that strictness, he really lives it in right.
Which I
can get behind a guy like that.
Same. And he just has a good personality overall. I feel like
1,000%.
Some people, it's not their cup of tea, but at the end of the day, dude's a happy dude and he's enjoying himself and he's being himself. I think that's sick.
And who am I to tell a guy how to live his life? He goes out there and puts his body on the line.
Exactly.
Not every week, but like.
And he beat the shit out of Michael Chandler. Oh my gosh. But the cool thing is I think there's either going to be some rematches of some fantastic fights that we've seen. Now everybody's back in play. Because the problem was Islam was the guy.
Yep.
And it's like, he had already beat a lot of the dudes. So it's like, what happens next? Now it's a scrap for everybody to get back there.
So when you get to a guy like that, he vacates his belt.
Yeah.
Right. And they obviously have rankings within these weight classes, right? Like the 1 versus 2, the 1 versus the 13. If Islam Makhachev, he's won, obviously has the belt. Does 2 and 3 automatically get a fight to become the interim champion of that weight class in the time being, or like does it take some time to get back to having a belt up for grabs?
It depends. I mean, when like Dana White pretty much has the final.
He's
going to do what he wants to do. What I would like to see is kind of a gauntlet of rematches of like almost like a bracket style. Like
That's kind of where my head went. It was like, how cool would that be if like you don't really have this instance all the time where a guy kind of vacates his spot,
right?
But in an instance where he does, there should be a special rule where now then there's a fucking fight weekend and everyone gets put on notice, and you go like, hey, we have a tournament of champions now for that belt.
Yeah,
I think that'd be sick.
The only problem is like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, like they've pretty much said like, I'm not fighting anymore unless it's for the title and unless it's specific. So like they could never do like two or three more fights to get a chance
To
at
get
the
back
belt.
to that because they've been in it so long. They've already been down.
They've already
that
had the
treacherous-
opportunity.
yeah.
They've already won the interim belt or things like that, and they've just lost.
Essentially, this opens the door for potentially like a new up and coming guy, or maybe an older guy who still wants to go down that path of fighting up to it.
I think it would be cool to see. It would be cool if they were to take interviews of all the guys and be like, where are you at? And figure out like how many fights left you have in your career, and then get the guys that are.
Then doesn't that like wouldn't that necessarily so like Gaethje?
Yeah.
He goes, I got 3 more fights in me.
Yeah.
So, and then you go Max Holloway. He's like, I got fucking 6.
Yeah.
So he has to fight 6 more fights to give his.
Well, no. I was just
I
saying.
only got 3, so you better put me in that fight.
See
these
who
next 3, so I get my chance.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And then I was also thinking like you can't really do that because if a guy says he has 2 fights left, and so you're like, oh, you get 1 fight and then you get a fight for the title, and then it's like you're right back where you started. He vacates.
Correct.
So it is a shitty situation, especially with the guys there, and they're older. They're at the end of their careers, but I think it's going to give us a last like little hurrah of like some throwback
real
fights.
exciting fights.
Yeah,
some good cards coming up.
And the best part is these guys are now all at like the most skilled that they've ever been, and they've fought each other before. So you're going to see crazy fight.
matches. You're going to get some matches that kind of already have some history to them.
Yep.
Which the UFC loves.
Yeah,
they love a good rematch or a 3 or a 4 of these fights.
And who knows? I mean, some of these dudes, like Charles Oliveira, he's climbing his way back up. He kind of fell off for a little bit. He's starting to look good again. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with that, but I thought it's cool. It's exciting for UFC. Like we talked about, like they're kind of at a stalemate with things. I think this might shake things up and give fans to watch something.
It's exciting too, right?
Yeah.
Having a buddy that is obviously in the fighting scene, that's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Fighting on a UFC fight card is a pinnacle. Probably if I'm looking at Josh Hokit and I'm examining his career, he's having some great fights. He's growing his way, but I would assume that the biggest stage is the UFC and fighting on a pay-per-view card. Yeah. So it's exciting to kind of see these kind of things happening at the top level because you never know the type of the shaking it does to the guys kind of coming up through the ranks.
Right.
Obviously, he's in a completely different weight class, but
right.
It's making me want to be more invested in the fight scene to kind of understand it because I want to be able to be supportive when a Fresno State Bulldog gets himself to the chance of being on a card. So
right.
But talking a little bit about Fresno State. Okay, obviously we had an alumni of ours just announced that he was retiring after a phenomenal career in the NFL.
Yeah,
Derek Carr, right? Mm-hmm. Got to give him his flowers. I think obviously what he did at Fresno State really helped put us on the map. Really helped Fresno State. Was a quarterback winning 2 Mountain West Conference championships.
Yeah,
winning in all black, winning a conference championship at home.
Is he the only quarterback that has 2 Mountain West championships?
I'm not sure. That'd be a great stat to pull.
I know the WAC has. We have a lot of WAC championships.
Yes, but from a Mountain West
standpoint, I think
he
he's
might be the only Bulldog to have 2. He might.
Yeah.
We've had some other guys get pretty close. We've had some really, really phenomenal quarterbacks within the quarterback room at Fresno State over the years. But one thing I wanted to note, obviously I could go on a long list about Derek Carr accolades and the Carr family accolades at Fresno State, but something that kind of caught my eye and it's been talked about within the sports world over the last couple of weeks once this announced was the overlap between superstars at Fresno State during Derek Carr's time. Yeah. At the beginning of his career, he had Paul George there from 08 to 10. Okay, Derek Carr got into Fresno State at 2009. He was there through 13. He had Devontae Adams at the same time as Derek Carr and Aaron Judge at the same time as Derek Carr and Devontae. First of all, you go out and you put Fresno State at a Group of 5 level against any other Group of 5 schools and go name me your big 3 stars or your big 4. You don't really find anyone that can compete with the 4 names that I just named on that list.
No,
You don't.
Not even close.
Not at our level.
I don't
not,
think.
Not at what they did in the leagues that they went on to. Like
Yeah.
it's really something to talk about. But like, think about the parties back in the day,
Bro.
around Fresno State when
What?
all 4 of those boys is on campus having a good time.
I'll just say this: I had a blast when like hanging out, athlete parties, super fun. But like, imagine
That,
But at the
like,
same
imagine
time,
being that superstarish.
my question though is, I wonder if they were. I mean, their names weren't their names.
This is true.
So
Like, this is very
could
true.
it have been? I don't know. Did Derek Carr slam 20 beers at a party, or
Did he not?
or did he go to Bible study? I don't
know.
I don't know what he did in college.
Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
Devontae Adams. I don't know.
I know,
So,
but I do know some guys that play with Devontae Adams.
okay.
I know some wide receivers that were in that room. Know some guys that because obviously I came in 14, so I'm right after that.
Yeah.
There's sophomores and juniors that were in that room.
Okay. What was the like the culture of like going out and having fun in college?
It was getting active.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely a bit of an eye opener for the young lad coming to Fresno State,
Right.
And kind of seeing you're already in a culture shock because you're going to Division I program,
Yeah.
But 2, just kind of like you're really surrounded by grown ass men. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 17, 18 years old, and there's 22-year-olds in the locker room. Like, so they're out. They're talking about like, hey, after this live, bro, I'm about to go get some Mad Dog 2020s.
Yeah.
Go sit down and chill. And I'm like, what the fuck's a Mad Dog 2020? Soon did I find out, but you know, I'm willing to bet because there's fuck all to do in Fresno.
Yep.
Especially as a student athlete.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that they're in this time frame from 2008 to 2013.
You know,
There
actually,
was some overlap where those 4 dudes were probably in a Palazzo apartment or a Bulldog Village apartment together.
dude.
And no one really knew the amount of wealth that was sitting in their room at that time.
Oh no,
Which is insane.
not even close. I do. You know what? Now that you mention it, I remember I had a neighbor that I just happened to run into and start talking to
Here in Fresno?
here in Fresno. Just down the road, pretty close to the school. There's some ag land that's right there. If you know what area I'm
know what
talking
you're
about.
talking about. Yeah.
And the neighbor was like, "Oh yeah, you know, Pat Hills, you know, so and so used to own the house next to us, and all of Derek Carr and the boys used to come over." So I do know a little bit of insight. And he said they used to get active. And
How could you not?
he said they used to get active and they used to have a lot of fun at this house.
Yeah.
And he said, I never once thought about calling the cops because he was like, are you kidding me? They're partying next to my house. He was like, I get to talk about this for the rest of my life.
Which again plays into the fact of the beauty of the little town that we live in.
Yes.
It's like that dude is like almost an extension of us.
Yeah.
But he's not, right? He's a fan. He loves it. But he found out like, oh, that's DC and the boys, or that's Paul George, or that's Aaron Judge. Like,
Right.
they're balling out at Fresno State, and he's sitting there like, man, I gotta let these boys go,
Hey,
like, because I'm
let
gonna
them
go watch
cook.
them on Saturday, or
Exactly.
hey, Tuesday, I'm gonna go out on a Monday night and watch Aaron Judge fucking rake for 3 home runs and a couple RBIs
After
a Saturday night, like having a good time. Like I remember in college, all the baseball guys, like they partied at a different, their schedule's a little different.
Right.
They would have, maybe they start a home game series on like a Friday. Well, they play all the way through Sunday.
Right.
So really, if they go for the sweep, which a sweep is if you win all 3 games, but say they win that series, they go 2-1. They're getting pissed on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because their series goes that long. So Sunday started to turn into the night. Like I always thought that was funny about college culture as well.
Yeah.
As like whatever season's in season. Obviously, football kind of works with their own schedule. We party when we want to party.
Yeah.
But like when we're trying to go out and see what's going on in the town with all the rest of student athletes.
Yeah.
But the season that's in its highest moment is where it determines that party night.
Oh yeah.
So it's always interesting. So like
And it always ends up on a Sunday.
always
Or some shit.
Sunday night or
Monday
or Sunday rolls into Monday.
Yep.
But no, I think that's so funny. They were having a good time.
Yeah.
The boys had
and
been
you
rolling.
and you already know, like there was guys I know that, you know, they're pitching, they're the closer for, you know, Monday night's game. Sunday, he's blacked out.
Oh, he's having a blast.
He wakes up at, you know, whatever it is, noon, because he has to go to whatever pregame shit. And he's like, he has it all planned out. He's like, yeah, first and second inning, I'm pounding water.
Yeah.
Third and fourth inning, I'm
There's
eating.
a way to come around it.
And they're like, they
There's
have
a
it
structure for
systematically.
it.
He's like, yeah. And then I'm primed, ready to go to closest game.
Then you go back to like 2008. What happened in 2008 for the Diamond Dogs?
Come on, baby. Natty.
They're a natty winner.
Yeah.
Think about the energy that is rolling through Fresno State in 2008. Like that carries on for a couple of years. Like that just doesn't
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. I can't wait. That's something like that's going to roll around for us again at some point, and who knows when it's going to be.
Fresno State Bulldogs are gonna go win a natty, okay, and we're gonna take that freaking goalpost.
Yes.
We're gonna run it to Blackstone.
Come on.
We're gonna go down to Friant.
We're going to make a river. We're going to make a river.
We're gonna take it out to the
gonna
Delaney's
throw it in the river.
farm, and we're gonna hop in the canal.
Yes.
We're gonna make a little canal buoy surfboard out of it. Like we're gonna do whatever we can.
Yes.
But I wanted to throw a little question out there to you. Okay, we've been monologuing about sports. We've been having a good time today, but it's that time of year again. It's getting a little warm out. It's getting a little hot.
Yeah.
Bodies of water start looking real nice. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that a little bit,
Dude. I just saw my mom for Mother's Day.
Hey,
fantastic.
Shout out all moms.
Yes. Love
Mother's
you,
Day,
moms.
one of the best holidays in our country.
Yes.
Right? You get to celebrate the person that gave birth to you.
Absolutely. So I'm hanging out, whatever. We're in SoCal.
Huntington Beach.
No, not Huntington Beach. Come on. That's crazy. You know where I live. I live right next to Potts, bro.
He's from Fresno, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going to have to claim it soon.
Yeah.
But so we're hanging out, and I just bought a surfboard last week. And do you know why? I don't know why. I just bought it. Impulsive. That's just kind of happens.
Guy made it close the deal.
Yeah.
Had some extra cash. Was burning a hole.
Didn't close the deal.
Just had
super broke.
Something burning in his pocket that he wanted to buy a surfboard. He said, "Fuck it, I'm buying this 6-foot surfboard. I'm about to start getting me."
Let's go. I've always wanted to do this. Surfed in Costa Rica like 6 months or 3 months ago, and now I think I'm freaking Kelly Slater. I don't know. It's wild. I might
all
go
in the
bald.
confidence. All in the confidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go out and I'm surfing, and these waves are they were pretty big.
You're out there chasing Mavericks.
They're like 4 to 6 foot waves, but like I don't know,
4 to 6 foot overhead, or
that's the backside of the wave. So
it's pretty massive.
They're pretty big. 8 foot, faces on those things at the peak swell of swells. So that's every few sets.
Hey, I'm from Oceanside, baby. I know a little bit about the surf.
I was just explaining for people that don't know.
Thank you.
And so it's good. But one thing that I love being in the water, right? Like I think my number one for your question.
Well, the question is number one situation around a body of water on a hot day.
Yeah.
That can be whatever you dream up of your dream situation.
I think mine is in the backyard with nice grass, a functional pool, kind of a larger pool, a pool area with.
I would hope we need a body of water in there.
Yeah, a pool with pool basketball.
Ooh.
But then also
Pool games.
Also a pool, like on the other side of the pool, there's the deep end that you can kind of do other activities in.
Or surround it.
Whatever you want to do.
Do a little diving. See how long we can hold
jumping.
our breath. Maybe I jump off a rock.
Maybe we freaking try to, I don't know, fight.
Maybe I tie you to a chair and see if you can get out of the deep end. I don't know.
Maybe we tie our hands together and our feet together and we bob and we see who can bob the longest.
Fuck it. Let's just do some Navy SEAL training.
Right?
Like I'm in.
Yeah. But it's also at the same time you're drinking a bunch of beers and you're with your boys. And it's just like, I don't know. I think that's the most, like one of the most American things. We're barbecuing, we're grilling.
Non-negotiable.
Everybody's in the pool. We're drinks are going. Maybe a little pool beer pong.
So what I'm picking up is your ideal hot day summer body of water is a great backyard, a lovely pool, a little bit of pool games, got some drinking games.
Yes.
And obviously the community. You need the people around.
Yes.
All right.
And good food.
Obviously. You're almost having like a barbecue backyard cookout.
And that's
high class chefs and
yes.
Beers are tapped and kegged. You got White Claws out the ass. Like
you got every different kind of combo.
Because you get to set it up, right? Like there's no having to go for a beer run. Like so your ideal situation is more of a lit backyard, great pool,
and then the sun's coming down, and you have the hot tub, and then you also have a fireplace or like little like bonfire, and like it's I don't know,
big backyard vibe guy.
Big backyard, okay, because it's simple. Everybody can show up. Everybody can do it. Like. If you are doing a beach trip or a lake trip or a river trip, maybe some people can't show up because they're busy or there's that.
Sometimes the people that do show up are the ones that are supposed to be there.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
No, I'm saying maybe some people can't afford to go to the lake house. Maybe, you know what I mean? Everybody can afford to come to my backyard because I'm the one who's bringing everything.
This is true. I'm obviously a big outdoors guy. Love getting out in nature. I really think my number one choice, body of water, It obviously includes beers. Okay, you have to have something that cools down the hot day, gets in the gullet, feels nice. So probably maybe a couple 30 racks of Coors Lights. Okay,
Couple.
We're gonna be in the Merced River in Yosemite,
Wow.
so that water's gonna be pretty cold. I might just have a little net mesh bag with the beers in the water.
Yep.
That's as cold as they need
what?
to get.
All you need is the little like the net that you keep the fish in.
got 'em.
You just put the beers in there.
I'm telling you, this is actually a plan I've done before. So we're down there. We need a couple lawn chairs. Okay, we need a nice little charcoal grill, couple steaks, couple burgers, couple people, maybe some potato salad.
Ooh.
And it's a beautiful day in the Yosemite Valley, Merced River. Got the people, and then we go out and do a little night camping, hang out.
like that.
So, but bodies of water, man. Like I'm a huge water bug. I love it.
Let's rattle off a bunch of other good ones, just quick ones.
Okay.
I'll go real quick. Kayaking down really any river, but kayaking the San Joaquin right off of Nice behind GB3.
Yep.
There's a walk down, then you kayak.
Exactly
It's
where you're
great.
at. It's coming off the Friant Dam.
Yes.
Fucking any lake and fuck a boat. Any lake that has a dock.
Okay.
That gives me an ability to have my ice chest on the dock.
Yes.
And then I can get out there with like a floaty or a life jacket.
When
and
we-
just
when we
bob and
swam that-
weave in that water.
When we swam that one floaty and we're all paddling with it, and then somebody have the great idea of just pushing it, and it,
I may or may not have, taken some mushrooms and sat on a life jacket and tread water for 4.5 hours in the night sky while while the moon was out. Like,
Wow.
That is another great example of having a good time in nature.
yes. Okay, another one, canal surfing, Elena's house.
You stole it.
Come on.
Because if there's not a fucking Fresno Friday afternoon, a Fresno Saturday afternoon, Frank Delana just hops in the boys group chat and goes, canal surfing 2:00.
Doesn't even ask if you're showing up. He just puts it out there.
Literally, you just get blessed with a lob. Canal surfing 2:00. There's not more of a giddy feeling in my stomach
man.
than me going, "Oh my god, I'm going out to the canal.
Yes.
I'm about to jump in some of this freaking water.
I might
and
have-
drink some beers.
I might have like 4 hours of work that I'm supposed to get done, and I'm like, you know what?
I'm gonna cram it out.
I'm gonna make sure I get this done, so I just show up.
I want to be able to go jump off the back of the tailgate into the canal.
Yes.
Fight the current that's trying to pull me down. Right. The one thing about the canal is once the boys start canal surfing, like there is a level of like, could this dude get impaled by something?
Yes.
Like,
Is he
could
gonna?
he fuck up enough to where he flies off into the bank and now
Yes.
he's like
Now he's
he
paralyzed.
fucks himself up. There's stakes to it. There's high stakes to it. We have to be
Dude,
we
there
have
used to
be
be-
on our P's and Q's, but I think that's what makes it so much fun.
Oh yeah. There used to be a washer machine halfway. Like,
yes,
There used to be and you're like, have we passed the washing machine?
Where's it at?
Have we passed?
Where's it at?
And you're like, come on. And then you see it and you're like, oh shit, don't fall. And then you get past it and then you're like,
The funny thing is like we're all pretty handy fellas.
yeah.
How easy would it be to put a landmark in the canal where the fuck that washer machine is?
Yep.
Like, I don't know, a PVC pipe. Oh, I don't know,
Well, no,
maybe one
see?
little flag.
We
like-
thought of that, but the rope would smash the flag. But what I said is just put on the other side of the canal, fellas.
fellas, let's just put 2 flags on the banks.
Yeah.
And know, hey, in this vicinity, I don't need to know exactly where it is. This is
coming up.
This is your danger zone.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to evade this area at all costs. But let's see if we can rattle off.
Obviously, the ocean. That's just
I think the ocean's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
The tough thing is like, I'm not the biggest fan of the ocean.
No.
I love the ocean. I hate the fucking sand. So like if I go to the beach, once I make the commitment to go get in the water and have a good time, like
That's the rest of the day.
No, that starts the countdown clock of like when the fuck we're getting out of here. So like I'll hang out at the beach for a bit. We go into the water. Maybe I come back and then go back in the water. But once I'm done doing cycles of water, and I've made my last walk up the beach and I have dry sand on my wet feet, I'm cooked.
see. I'm like, I don't even
me out
care.
there.
I could.
I don't care in the moment, but like I'm not gonna go fucking sit down wet in the sand and chill.
Dude, I surfed on Saturday, on this last Saturday,
On the new board,
on the new board.
get some wax on that bad boy.
Oh yeah,
Did you get some sex wax from the
coats,
store?
2 coats. Yep.
Hey, don't be.
Base coat,
hey,
top
they're
coat.
the boys are giggling over there, but it's actually called sex wax.
It is.
Come on, they're Central
Congrats on
Valley
the sex.
guys. Hey,
Wax.
congrats.
But yeah, so I was like, out there, whatever, doing my thing. I came in. I had to come in because I had double calf cramps, and that's not good in that amount of surf. I got freaking demolished.
Washer
by these-
machine.
dude. Just
Washer machine.
So that sucked.
What size board do you have?
It's a 6'8",
Okay.
6'8", but it's
Which is a pretty bold decision to buy a 6'8" on your first surfboard buy.
well. So
Because you could have gone for like a little bit of a longer longboard. You could have
so
gone like
I've-
an 8'6".
I've surfed a longboard, kind of fun board shape before, and like 7'2", kind of in that realm. So I stepped down just a little bit for like 4 to 6 inches, but this thing still has 54 liters of volume. So for people that are watching,
Hey, he's spitting facts out here. That
for people that are watching, the how much volume the board has is how much buoyancy it has. So a heavier guy like me, I need more volume, and that helps you. That helps you with your paddle power.
For our listeners, let's put it this way. For a big guy like myself, I don't go anything shorter than a 10-foot boat when I go out and surf. So
It's
10-foot
actually
boat,
it's a
higher
22-foot
buoyancy.
bayliner that he goes on.
I actually go surf in a canoe. All right, like there's not really a board out there that fits me. I just stand up in a canoe and rock it. So.
Exactly, but yeah, so it's actually a really beginner board for me that I've surfed a little bit and enough to I've dabbled in it enough to need a little more performance out of the board.
You're getting a little better.
Yeah,
You're honing in on your craft.
yeah,
You're becoming a waterman.
yeah.
You're understanding what it's like to be out
I
there
was
with
so
the boys.
I was so pumped when I was out there. I didn't really catch any waves. It was a lot of not good attempts.
A lot of bobbing and weaving with the waves.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
but the best part was I never panicked, even in the big sets. I was never worried. I'm finally duck diving waves and not
Nice.
getting scared, and
Nice.
my shoulders aren't getting like blown out from paddling. I watched this video of like you only paddle at like 70%, 80% when you're going places, and even if you're trying to catch a wave, and that's been like revolutionary.
I love that for you.
Yeah, so it's been fun.
I love that for you. Diving into the techies of it.
Yes.
If a guy's going to do something, you might as well do it at 100%.
Exactly.
Don't fucking half-ass anything.
Exactly.
I love that for you, brother. But, you know, man, we've talked a lot about today.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that we had a lot of fun. I do want to cover one last thing before we get on out of here, and it's just talking a little about how they think the NBA lottery is a little rigged.
Bro.
And, you know, again, for the umpteenth time, I'm not an expert in basketball, but I can look at some stories and look at some statistics over time and frame my own point of view.
Well, I'll just say this. I'm really good at what people call conspiracies.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm really good at that.
I'm a conspiracy hunter.
Yes.
I'm out looking for guys that have hot takes because I like to have hot takes.
Yeah.
And I want to take a hot take off their hot take.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like, I want to be like, what's
wanna
this guy spitting?
I want to create a new hot take off of his hot take.
And if he says something dumb, I want to try to make it sound even more dumb so he looks dumb. You know what I'm
There
saying?
we
But
go.
like, that's media. But looking at a little bit of the NBA draft lottery, it's not really a surprise that the Dallas Mavericks got it.
Right.
Because if you look at the last 5 years, the way that the lotto has worked, every team, it went the Cavs, the Pelicans twice, and then the Mavs. Okay, really that's only 4 years. The Cavs lost LeBron, had the worst season in the history, not in the history of the Cavs, but had a really bad season, got the lottery. Pelicans got traded away, CP3, had a tough season, got the lottery. The next season, AD trade, got the lottery again. Now, you go and look at the Mavs, they go and have a blockbuster trade, get rid of essentially the face of the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Probably literally the best, if not one of the best basketball players in the world.
Right.
Got rid of him, and now all of a sudden they get a lottery draft pick to go pick up what the NBA thinks is going to be the next face of the NBA.
Yeah.
So like, you have got to start reading a little bit and looking into it, going like, how the fuck does that keep happening?
I think they don't even give a shit anymore. That there's no way you could tell me that that's not what's happening.
I don't, but like again,
look
like,
at the
they make
NFL.
it. They try the best to make it look random. Don't they? I think they still do the random shit where the balls are all in, like it's literally a lottery,
Yeah.
and they're like, but
But
I don't
do you-
see how you can rig that, but I do like just put all the one team number on the same ball, no matter what you're gonna get that ball. So like, it
Yeah,
could be
there's
rigged.
so many
There's
ways.
a lot of factors that can happen.
The dude could have another ball in his hand when he picks it up. He just goes like that, and
Then he's a magician.
or he could just
not say it.
literally just pick up a ball and it says the Los Angeles Lakers. He's like, oh my gosh, the Mavericks! Like, yeah,
There's so many things that could happen in that, but I don't know, man. I think in something like this and like in the NBA, I've always
What do you think? Like, I like the way the NFL does it. Like the team that did the worst gets the first pick. I like that.
I don't really think there's a lot of good models or bad models, right? Like
It's just
when
the
I look
model.
at the NFL, when I look at the NFL and I go that makes sense to me. The team that did the worst gets the highest draft pick, and the team that did the best gets the lowest.
Yeah.
Everyone's still getting a draft pick. Anyone in the top 32 is pretty damn good. For NBA, I don't think I know enough about the development of players and how they come through the league that like does it really make that big of a difference for you to have the number 1 draft pick at lottery? Because not every year are they fucking shitting out a Cooper Flag.
Right.
So like, I think it's really just one of those things. Like most of the time, the lottery pick goes to a team that's in the shit or has had a really tough season.
And if that just in my opinion, if that's what's happening, just say it. NBA. If you're
like own it and be okay with it.
If you own it and you're just like, look, we're gonna try to help the team that needs the help.
Like we all win.
At least you say it. At least you say it.
Take ownership of it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing too of like, hey, if you want to, if it really comes down to, hey, they just traded away their number 1 team to set themselves up for a bad season and now they get it.
Yeah.
Just say it. Because what teams are just what
Well,
they're
and
just start trading away their big fellas to get the lottery pick.
Is it
That's
the
just growth into the league? Like now we
Exactly.
just want young guys to take over. Like you could come up with a version that is like fuck it. I'm it's like putting all my chips in at all in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not doing that well. I got this superstar. I'm gonna trade him away. I automatically get this lottery pick. I get to start over fresh with the number 1 or the next number 1 pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah.
So,
But then it's like, okay, every team does that when there's a good guy coming out.
and then you end with like 5 super teams and
Yep.
all of a sudden like
So I just
knows?
think it, like I'm not saying that they should do that and help teams out, but if you're going to do it, which is what it looks like right now, you might as well just be on or find a way to cheat better, or like find a way to rig shit better. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
or just don't be so blatantly like against the fact that there is some rigging going on.
Yeah.
Right, like don't be
None
like,
of the-
oh, nah, that's not happening.
Exactly.
Like
The
we're
fans
not
aren't
just picking
stupid.
the team that we want. Like we didn't just watch an entire fan base of one of our biggest markets lose the plot because their franchise traded away the number 1 team. So like, let's make one of the biggest markets within the NBA very happy again, so that they start spending money.
Yeah.
Because what happens when Cooper Flag jersey for the Dallas Mavericks comes out in however long when they sign him?
It's going to explode.
There's an uptick in sales. There's an uptick
And so
in that. Market
here's the
gets a
thing.
boost in the,
And
in
this
the
is
NBA.
this is my take off of that conversation, right? Oh, as a business model, right? Business me is like, I'm probably doing the same thing. If all of a sudden I'm like, holy smokes, we just saw a loss in 50 million in sales or in revenue because this owner or this GM made a stupid trade, right? Now I'm mad. It's like, you know what? I'm going to throw them a bone. As a business, in my business brain, I'm like, I can't knock that because he's trying to get him.
There's like it's the same thing with the GM from the Eagles,
Yeah.
right? Like that guy came in and he's a wizard. Okay, now he knows what he's doing. He's making picks. He's making moves, kind of unorthodox moves that everyone on the league is like, yo, watch what he's doing. Watch what's going on.
Yeah.
I think you start seeing guys become savvy like that in the NBA and
then
moving things around.
As a fan, if my team, if I'm the Cavs, I'm going to be mad at my team, at the GM, at the decisions that the management is making, the coaches are making, whatever it is. If you're the coach, you should have been going crazy. No, we're not getting rid of him, right? Like, and as
that sometimes I just think that's part of the business, right?
right, and
Like,
but
you don't know what's going on.
that's
behind the
also
scenes.
like-
Whereas those GMs could be like, "Hey, I hired you to coach.
sit back.
You coach the fucking team that I give you."
Yeah. And that's my point though, is I don't think as fans that do spend our money to fund this organization and league should be letting the up and ups throw teams bones. Like you're mad because we don't spend our money anymore because our team made a bad decision. That's not your decision to
Correct.
do this.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because then you look at a fan, like I'm a Titans fan, right? It seems like we're always behind the ball and we're always making bad decisions. And it sucks.
Hey, just know,
Like we had Derrick Henry.
The Titans made a good decision and got themselves a good quarterback.
Yeah,
So
no,
hopefully you get to get out on a good foot in this next start of the season.
But what I'm saying is for the fans that always have a team that struggles, it's shitty to see a team that was really, really good get thrown a bone because of profit loss or whatever.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying is
Absolutely.
for for all the fans out there that want to see a championship, we want to see a Fresno State championship. Imagine they're like, Alabama, Clemson, Auburn, all these, Florida State. We're gonna give you an extra advantage because we want to see your money.
Absolutely. Nah, man, it's some crazy topics today. I think all of it's been a good time. Always remember. Make sure you remember this, Comstock. It's in the nitty gritty.
I'm listening.
It's in the small details. It's in the chop wood. It's in the carry water.
Chop wood, carry water.